Hey, I'm here with Crystal Stringer. She's with Heaven's Angel Academy. Crystal, you have a big event coming up pretty soon.
Yes, Stuart, we are having our back to school open house. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, August 8th. You can visit our website at www.heavensangelsacademy.com. We'll be giving away 100 free backpacks with school supplies, and we will also be offering free tuition that day only. So drop by 11 to 2 p.m. Saturday, August 8th.
You can get all the information at heavensangelsacademy.com. Come out there and meet Crystal. We'll see you out there.
Build smart, move fast, get the edge of last. This is the Catalyst.
And welcome to The Catalyst, the podcast by the Long Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. Good to see you here. My name is Stuart Takahara, Vice President of Membership here at the Chamber. And today, I am really excited to introduce a guest because we were at their ribbon cutting, celebrating the brand new facility. And today, we're going to talk about and learn a little more about how they got to this step. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Crystal Stringer from Heaven's Angel Academy to The Catalyst. Crystal, welcome to The Catalyst. Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to be here. So thank you, Stuart. Thank you.
Let everybody know, what is Heaven's Angel Academy? What is it? What are you trying to do? Let's start there.
Okay. So Heaven's Angels Academy is a child care center located here in Long Beach. We serve children ages 6 weeks to pre-K, and it's an extension of our in-home family child care in the city of Carson. We've planted our feet here. We're in our third week. We opened 3 weeks ago, so we're excited and we've hit the ground running. And we're just here to service our working moms and dads, parents that are going to school and just need childcare services while they need to do whatever it is they need to take care of during the day. We're here to support their families and partner with them, and also help children prepare for kindergarten and beyond.
Awesome. So you mentioned you started in Carson. So this is an extension of what you were doing over there.
Correct. We started in the city of Carson about going almost 8 years ago. And so we are still there. So that's why I say an extension. That location is still operating and thriving. And we made the decision to expand here in the city of Long Beach to a second location.
So let's start there. Why did you choose Long Beach? Because you could have gone to Gardena, you could have gone north, you could have gone whatever different way from Carson. What made you want to choose Long Beach?
So to be perfectly honest, because I have such a huge presence in Carson, that was the first choice. But when I started looking, and obviously, we want what we want, but we have to also service the needs of the different communities. And so in doing research in the city of Long Beach, I'm not sure if you know, is considered a child care desert. Most people might not think that because there are lots of child care centers and in-home family daycares all throughout the city of Long Beach, but there aren't enough to service the community. And so we saw the need here, and that's why we planted our feet here.
That's great. What part of town did you guys settle in?
We are in Wrigley. So we're in the 6th district in Wrigley.
So did you look at other areas within the Long Beach community to try and find your home, and you picked this one for a certain reason, or?
Honestly, we did look in the area. I ended up partnering with a real estate agent. So very talented young lady who was able to get some different properties for us. But when you're looking for a facility like this, you're dealing with where you're trying to combine what you want, what the state of California licensing requires, and what the different city requirements are. And so in putting all three of those together, this was the best location. This was the location that needed us the most. And also, in terms of location, we didn't want to be in a strip mall. We wanted to be on a main street, which you've been here. So we're on a main busy highway. So all of those different things. But basically, it also boils down to, where does the community need you?
Yeah. And so obviously Wrigley is one of those big need areas.
Yes.
So your facility, tell me about the time you said, all right, we're in Carson. We want to expand. Where do we want to go? It's going to be Long Beach. You worked with a realtor. You said, all right, it's going to be Wrigley. So tell me about your experience going through the building process, building a business here in Long Beach, because it's pretty fresh. How long did it take you from the start to finish?
So I don't want to scare anyone who is watching. So if we go from Complete start, meaning the decision was made and let's look for a building. That's 3.5 years. If we
Wow.
go from I found the building and let's go through the permitting process, then we're talking about 2.5 years. So you need time to find the space. And then it depends on if you find a space that was already a childcare center. This one was not. So that's a change of use. You need to get permits for that, which takes about 4 to 6 months, or at least that's how long it took my process, 4 to 6 months. And then you can begin the renovations on the facility.
Mm-hmm. And renovations took you about how long?
Renovations were supposed to take 6 months. They took 2 years. However, that is not to no fault of the city of Long Beach. The city of Long Beach permitting department was wonderful. They handled things in pretty much a timely manner. So there were some internal delays dealing with, the team of individuals and contractors that we were working with. And also just things that happen in life that are unexpected and you have to pivot because as we know, life happens. But in terms of the city process, it was the process. The timing is the timing, but there weren't any real delays until probably the end, which that got a little bit sticky, but here we are 2.5 years later.
Well, first off, I appreciate your dedication and the follow up. I'm just doing some quick math here. Was this during the COVID era days, the 2020, 2021?
No, we started looking for the building in January 2023. Renovation started February 6, 2024.
Okay. So you were kind of already past all that. So you didn't have
Yes.
to worry about any of that. But your
Yes.
place in Carson probably was really affected by those
Yes.
changes.
We hadn't been in business that long before COVID did hit. So yes, we did. And honestly, we felt the effects of it, but we didn't. The biggest effect I felt of it was really just ramping up a little bit slower with the process because the world was shut down and people were working from home and childcare needs were a little bit different. But as the world moved through and past COVID and individuals started to go back out into the workplace and maneuver in a different form of normalcy, the business started to pick up and it hasn't stopped since.
I think of childcare as one of those industries that's very dependent upon, parents working, and more specifically working in an office and working in a building or something. And during those COVID days, and even to now, work has changed. I mean, you can look at empty office buildings. There's a lot of working from home. How has the return to office, either mandate or the remote work new environment, affected your business model and your strategies for growth?
So what it has forced us to do, and it's not a bad thing, there aren't the traditional schedules anymore. So whereas before you had part-time and full-time only, now you have different types of part-time schedules. You have more drop-in schedules because parents are working from home or they're only going into the office a certain amount of days. But also you can have parents that work from home full-time and their child is with you full-time because when they're an infant, that may be a little bit different. But once they're a toddler, they're moving around a lot. Mom, dad can't focus on their conference call with the little one right there, at their side. So it becomes challenging for the family. So as the children get a little bit older and moving around, they see the need for childcare in a traditional sense, even though they're at home.
Yeah, I would imagine that there's always a new kind of opportunity that comes around. So you're adapting. Is that not typical 9 to 5s? I remember, doing the 9 to 5 thing here at the chamber. We're kind of a 9 to 5 in the office kind of thing. But are you seeing more non-traditional work hours as well? Let me give you an example. Do you see people living here in Long Beach that might be working East Coast hours because they now work remote for an East Coast company or anything like that?
Absolutely. I haven't had a large clientele with that, but some of my colleagues who have 24-hour facilities, they do have individuals who require that overnight care because their employer is on a different time zone. And then you do have those parents who they're working on different time zone, but they're looking for childcare earlier in the morning. So we open at 6 a.m. So a lot of our new parents, they really like the flexibility of our schedule. We're open a little bit earlier and we stay open a little bit later to accommodate those type of non-traditional hours.
Yeah. And those non-traditional hours are becoming more and more common.
They are. So yeah, they're going to be traditional.
Yeah. So when we opened up your facility, you gave me a tour and it was just amazing. The attention to detail that you brought into it, your personality that you brought into the location was just so impressive. Why was that so important to you to get that right?
It was important to me. It actually stems from my own personal experience with my daughter. She wasn't as young as the children are that we service. But when she was transitioning from one school to another many years ago, my daughter's an adult. And by the way, her name is Heaven. The school is named after her. I went to visit a school and I remember, and it wasn't about colors or drawings on the wall or murals. The place just looked dark, drab, not fresh paint. And I just thought to myself, if I was a child, if I was a person of any,
Mhm.
age, I would not want to spend any amount of time here, let alone a full day. And so we didn't enroll her there. That stuck with me. That was
Mhm.
many years ago. And so that was the catalyst behind the design of this building. So when we hired someone, and her name is Dara, the Zen Experience, to help us bring this vision to life, that is what we conveyed to her. We wanted the space to feel contemporary. I didn't want it to look like any childcare center you had ever walked into. I wanted it to set a tone as soon as you walk into the lobby. And I'm sure you can attest to that. You walked into my lobby and I
Mhm.
wanted it to scream, "You're welcome here. This is a space where you can be creative, where you can be seen, where you're going to be loved and nurtured." And I believe that the entire space is that.
It absolutely is. And I love how you have the different zones for the different ages. So
Yes.
you're able to keep the ages together and have activities that are built for that.
Yes. So each classroom, as you saw, no matter how large or small, because all of the classroom sizes are different, but they all have those same things in there. There's an area for your traditional learning. There's circle time. There's dramatic play. There's a creative writing section. There's a place for manipulatives and blocks. And so no matter how small the room is or how large it is, we designed it in a way where it wouldn't feel cluttered, but that the child would have all these different centers for each developmental stage inside each classroom.
How important is it that I don't have kids. So how important is it that this age group that you're servicing gets this kind of emotional stimulation and socialization before they get into the preschool, kindergarten ages and first grade and stuff?
It's very important. What a lot of people, if you don't work in this industry, don't realize the importance of play-based learning. There's a vast variety of different learning styles, and they all speak to and develop the child. The end result is the same, but how you get there is different. But everything that a child do, they're learning, like, for instance, dramatic play. If they're in a kitchen or if they're pretending to be a police officer or a fireman, those are real life careers, things that they are mimicking, activities that they are learning to do without even knowing that they're learning to do them. So when you have all of these different things, it touches to different child's interests. We don't know what their interests are going to be when they get older. So we want to tap into and have them explore all of those things. We want them to be creative. They're learning. The classroom is their world in a whole new space. So everything in it is an opportunity to learn, to explore, to ask questions. And so when they go on to kindergarten and beyond, that's where they learn those foundational skills. And so every parent that comes through my door, my tours aren't a one size fit all. My tours are designed after a conversation with the parent. And I don't mean design, but the way what we talk about and what we focus on is based on the parent's needs. And so because every parent's needs are different, we have something here for everything. Some parents are more focused on socialization. Sometimes when children are socialized later in life, being around other children can be overstimulating. When they're socialized early, it teaches them about sharing, about how to be a friend, about community, about being around others, which is what the world outside of this space will be. Some parents care about curriculum and they want to make sure that their child is going to be prepared as they enter into kindergarten. Some of them want more focus on mathematics. Some we have extracurricular activities. You saw the piano here. We have
Hmm.
garden. So it's just to touch every area to give exposure in all of those different areas so that the children have an opportunity to explore and expand upon that as they go to kindergarten and beyond.
Yeah. And there's something else too. Your space is not just an indoor space. You also have a nice outdoor area as well.
Yes. Allowing kids to run and play is a mandatory part of the day. They have so much energy, and it would just do them a disservice to have them inside every facility. So maybe there's a child care center that doesn't have, I have a pretty large space outside. Maybe there's a facility that doesn't have it. I've done a lot of coaching. I'm taking a lot of courses and ECE courses. So even those facilities can find ways indoors to let the children have some physical activity. That's why we have music and movement. They need to be able to get up and express themselves. And also within our curriculum, we utilize what's called the up-down method. So children aren't going to want to be sitting for a long period of time. So we may be doing an activity where they're sitting. The teacher's next activity, they're up doing something. The next activity may be sitting. You're not going to be able to read to a child for 30 minutes. You're going to lose them. So it's that type of schedule all day. And then fresh air, sunshine, all of those natural elements. And then we have outdoor learning. I mentioned the gardening. That's a big thing we're going to be doing here. And so we can have outdoor instruction. You can take the classroom outside in the shaded areas and different, just like adults. Some of us are visual learners. Some of us are hands-on. So it's the same thing with the children.
It just sounds like you're going to be investing so much into the youth of Long Beach. It's really, really exciting to have you here. And we should be very, very appreciative of you doing this. Cause like you said earlier, Long Beach is, a childcare desert.
So we're excited to be here. We're excited about the opportunity, the community of Long Beach, the chamber, the different council women and men that we have met have all been very welcoming, have extended their services to help us in any way that we need, that they're available. So it's just been a great start to a beautiful partnership, and we're just looking forward to expanding. And right now it's just about letting everyone know that we're here. We have this beautiful facility. We have all of these things that we offer, but now it's time to let everyone know, we're here and what we're offering.
Yeah. We've been talking with Crystal Stringer. She is what is your title? Founder, CEO, head teacher,
founder,
leader,
CEO, owner, visionary, all of those things.
With the Heaven's Angel Academy, recently opened here in Long Beach, California. Crystal, before we go, what else would you like people to know about either you or Heaven's Angel Academy or anything else? How can people find you, track you down, say, I want my kid going there? What else do people want? What else do you want people to know about you?
So I want people to know that we are a family-friendly environment that's built on community, and we have the reviews to back that up. So I would encourage anyone, if they're interested, if they've sparked the interest, if they've driven by, go to our Google or Yelp page, look at the reviews. We're new here in Long Beach, so we don't have as many in Long Beach yet, but you're welcome to go to our page and our Carson location and just look at what all of the families have been saying about their experience over the years. And that will let you know what we stand for and that your child or children will be in good hands. And if you want to book a tour or come in and speak with us more about what we offer, you can call us at 562-478-8940, or you can visit our website, heavensangelsacademy.com. And there's links on the website to contact us or book a tour directly from the website.
Awesome. Crystal, thanks so much for being a guest here on The Catalyst and for joining us today. Thanks for your chamber membership and your ongoing support. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next. As always, you got something big, you got announcements, things you want to do. Make sure that we know about it so that way we can help get you the promotion and stuff that will just continue making your business and all of your events a success.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Stuart.
You got it. Thank you, Crystal. And you can find all of her information again in the show notes that are part of the show. You've been listening to The Catalyst by the Long Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. Bye.